Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Among Us Roles Ideas video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So our first role is a crewmate role called the Observer. Now this role is very similar to the hacker role we discussed last video, and this one only, instead of having access to all the security features, you just have access to the cams. But you can do it from anywhere on the map. And in addition, you can also place a custom cam on the map. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's say I'm in electrical and I place down a camera. I would have access to this cam. So how do the custom cams work? Well, the custom cams are invisible to other players and they can only be accessed by the observer. So they can't be accessed from security. They can only be accessed from like whatever little menu the observer gets. And as a buff that this role may need on Mira, you can place down 2 cameras since that map does not naturally have its own cams. Moving on to another crewmate role, and this one is semi-Town of Salem based, and it's the author. So what does the author do? Well, the author can keep a journal, and they can write down information that can lead to the imposters being found. So like, maybe you could write down in your journal like, I saw so-and-so vent, or something like, I saw so-and-so faking a task. Like, you could write it down without having to call a meeting, because the journal is revealed whenever the author's body is found or an emergency meeting is called, with the author being dead. So in addition to being able to write down in your journal, let's say maybe you don't get to write down anything in your journal, it still auto-records the last room you went into. So I went into navigation, and it would record that I was in navigation. It was the last room I was in. So if my body isn't found, well, they know I was in navigation. And perhaps and as a buff, if this role's a little underpowered, the journal auto-records people who enter the room the author is in. But it's only that last room, and it'd probably be after like 5 seconds. This would mean the imposters would have to move quick or risk their name showing up on the list of people who entered the room the author was in. Alright, now we're moving on to an imposter role. This imposter role is called the Stalker. So, what does the Stalker do? And why do I call it an emergency meeting? Well, simple. During an emergency meeting, you can place a tracker on one person. So let's say I chose to do it on dummy 5. There would be a tracker on dummy 5. It wouldn't be based on a vote, it would be another button you can bring up, but I just figured that I'd do it as if I was voting. And now, you'd be able to like open up your map, and you'd be able to see dummy 5 in navigation. It would show up probably as like a red exclamation point on your map. Alright, and for our final imposter role, the Shapeshifter. So, what does the Shapeshifter do? Well, you kill a body, and then you can disguise it. So I would become dummy 5. I would look exactly like they did before they were dead. And this disguise fades after a meeting is called or a body is found. So that was all the roles for this video, but I thought I would discuss how I think these roles should be implemented, because I don't believe I've actually done that. So, first of all, I think they should be implemented in 12 to 15 player lobbies. The reasoning for that is just a lot of these roles are pretty powerful and can make the regular 10 player lobbies not work as well. Another thing is that the crewmate roles wouldn't replace the standard crewmate. It wouldn't be every crewmate gets a role. It'd be some crewmates would get the roles, some wouldn't. And I haven't worked out the exact ratios yet, but let's assume you have a 15-player lobby, 3 imposters, maybe 4 super crewmates, because that would leave 8 regular, so like 4 crewmates with special roles, 3 imposters, and then 8 regular crewmates. As for the imposters, I think all of them could be a special role, but for the imposters, you would be able to set your preference for your role, which is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing if you're playing with randoms and like, oh yes, I can guarantee if I'm imposter, I'll get, or I'm more likely to get the role I like. But if you're playing with people you know, and then, oh, there's this imposter role, it's Cookie Kid, because he always plays this role. That being said, the recommended doesn't guarantee you'll get that imposter role. It just means you're more likely to end up with it. And it would just be like, oh, whenever you get imposter or crewmate, you would roll for the chance to get a special role. So you get crewmate, it basically does another thing again, where then you would get a chance of regular crewmate or a different crewmate role. And I think that's it. So, right. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!